Hi, I'm Bill from Phoenix Golf, and today we're going to talk about 3 mental tips and plus some bonus tips to help you either recover from a bad round of golf or help you prepare to play in your next round of golf. So, I've been playing golf for close to 25 years now, and I started out in my mid 20s and fell in love with the game and wanted to get better. And as I would slowly improve or even take a step back because of injury or life getting in the way, because obviously, I wasn't playing professional golf, so we do this in our spare time. I would let my mental game interfere with my physical game, and I could go to the range and hit, 100 golf balls, feel great, hit them where I wanted to, fades, draws, whatever, and then I get to the course and I would play terrible, either because I cracked under the pressure or I just wasn't feeling it. Like I would maybe play one bad hole and I couldn't let go of it. So I just wanted to address some of the mental tips that I've learned that have helped me become better and hopefully can help you play better golf too. So I apologize for having a piece of paper here, but I just don't want to miss something here. But the first rule is to have no expectations for how you're going to play. So don't go out being like, I have to shoot a low round, I have to shoot in the 70s today to validate, in front of somebody that I'm a really good golfer, or, basically you're tying your self-worth to your golf, which you never want to do, because if you play good, you play bad, there's going to be no reporters there for you afterwards. No one's going to ask you questions. You're just going to go home to your family or go on with your life. And you never know how you're going to play from day to day. You can even see it in pro tournaments. A guy will shoot, 10 under the first day and he will miss the cut because the second day he's terrible, can't do it. Having no expectations. So what I try to do is say, on the way to the course, I'm like, I wonder how I'm going to play today. So I'm kind of almost like in a surprise state. Like, well, I hope I play good. But if I play bad, that's okay too. It doesn't make me a bad person just because I had a bad round of golf. So tip 1 is to have no expectations. Step 2 is remember you're not a robot. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to be just off the green and you're going to blade a chip, or you're going to hit it fat, or you're going to pull your drive into the trees, or you're going to hit it in the water. Like something is going to happen. You're not going to play a perfect round of golf. Over 20 some years, I've had one round where I would consider perfect. And it wasn't even that I played perfect from start to finish. It was just I had good recovery shots. And so when I tell myself that, it's okay that you make mistakes. Golf is really hard and it's a difficult game. And so what I try to do is kind of give myself a breather of like, okay, for each 9 holes I play, I'm allowing myself 2 mistakes. And so that way when I do make a mistake, I don't start beating myself up over it. I just try to either write it down or make a mental note of like, hey, when you're around the green and you're chipping out of this kind of lie or whatever, figure out how to do that. So, practice it before the next round. So if it happens again, you can handle it better. So that's the second tip is remember, you're going to make mistakes. So far we have no expectations before you play and that you're going to make mistakes. The third thing is to be indifferent with your good or bad shots. Like you'll see, they talk about Dustin Johnson all the time. Like he could have a hole in one or he could have a quadruple bogey. He's walking to the green the same way. His demeanor is the same. He just kind of like goes with the flow. The way when I've been reading books, they've described it to me as like stay off of that train, because when you hit a good shot, you're on cloud 9. You can't believe how good you're playing. And then you mess up your drive in the next hole and you're like, oh, I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that? The game is terrible. Everything's going wrong for me. And now your emotions are all over the place. And staying steady is good. Now, if you get a great birdie or something, yeah, get a little excited about it. You're having fun, but don't you get too high and don't get too low. Because if you're riding that train of emotion the whole time, it's exhausting for one. And then you're not having as much fun with your friends as you should be because you're so worried about how you're playing. Your friends, everybody hits bad shots. You just want to have fun. So a couple of the bonus tips is be your own caddy. If you hired somebody to follow you around, be your own caddy, and you hit a bad shot, they wouldn't say, man, you're terrible. Like, why did you do that? You're so bad. No, they would say, hey, man, that's, you did the best you could. We had the wind wrong, whatever. You can do better the next time. And you have to be your own cheerleader. You have to be your own caddy. So I kind of laugh it off in my head and I go, golf is hard. Like it is a hard game. It's one of the most difficult games to you're never going to master it, but to be proficient at, it's very difficult. And I'm not a professional. I don't play it for money. I'm out there to have a good time. And knowing that not beating myself up and calling myself bad names or whatever, it's not helping my game at all. And it's taking away from having a good time with my friends. So the last kind of bonus tip that I like to do is I let my nerves get really, really, they ruin my game, basically. My anxiety gets through the roof, especially if I'm in a match play or some situation where, I'm giving a lot of strokes and I know I have to play almost perfect to win. it gets really in my head. So one thing that I've been learning the past few years is called box breathing. And it's basically a count of 4. So it's, a count of 4 to breathe in, a count of 4 to hold your breath, a count of 4 to exhale your breath, count of 4 just pausing, and then repeat that. So if I have a big putt or a big drive coming up, I'll start that breathing process and kind of do that box breathing. And that really helps me kind of just calm everything, my emotions down, get focused on what I need to do. And, kind of going along with that, the other thing is when you step up to the tee box, there's kind of like, I imagine 2 boxes there. There's a box around your ball and there's a box before your ball where you address it. The box before your ball, that's the thinking box. That's where you look at the wind. That's when you're thinking about the lie you have. That's when all the mental stuff comes in. But when you step into that action box next to the ball, that's when you can kind of tell your brain, okay, brain, it's time to turn off. I'm going to let my body handle this because I've been training my body to handle this shot instead of letting the mind get in the way. So those are a couple of mental tips that'll help you hopefully recover from a bad round of golf too, because I beat myself up when I play a bad round of golf. Like, man, I looked forward to that all week and I played terrible. It was a beautiful day. Like I always think of Bobby Jones, golf is a good walk ruined, because sometimes it just happens. And the more I realize that I can't tie my self-worth to it. I'm not a bad person. I can still be in a good mood. I can still have a good time with my family. Just because I had a bad round of golf, nobody cares. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. Nobody cares. And so to kind of go over it again, have no expectations. Remember, you're not a robot. You're going to make mistakes. Be indifferent to your good and bad shots. Don't get on that train, that emotional train, and ride that up and down. Be your own caddy. Take care of yourself. And remember to breathe. Box breathing is especially good. You can look that up, and I'll try to put a link in the description below. And then also remember, there's the action box and the thinking box. And the thinking box is before you take your address position. That's when you do your practice swings. That's when you think about what kind of swing you're going to have, the wind, all that type of stuff. So I hope these tips can help you improve going forward with your golf game, and again, help you recover from a bad round if that does happen. And I'll ask you, if you like these videos and tips that I'm doing, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe as I try to grow the channel, and then I can continue to do more videos like this.